And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning and welcome to the Market Forecast. Today is Monday, November the 8th. I'm John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. If you're here, you've probably made your correct adjustments to time. We did change our clocks this weekend, so hopefully we're all in tune with that. Still seeing some difficulties in the broadcast here. I was unable to get the hardware needed this weekend. I also got a gremlin in my car this weekend too. So I've got not only gremlins here, I got gremlins in my car. I'm just covered with gremlins. I gotta get rid of these gremlins. As far as the forecast this morning, as always, context is highly important in trading. Knowing, having a good hypothesis as to the market state. Always patience and always thinking about risk management. There's not a lot of economic numbers today or for this week overall. We do have Chairman Powell speaking at 9:30 today. There's a few talking Feds speaking today and tomorrow. We do have PPI final tomorrow at 7:30. It's probably the biggest number we're going to have this week. Powell speaks again tomorrow. And CPI and jobless claims on Wednesday this week. Thursday is Veterans Day holiday. Thanks to all of you who have served. We have the EIA on Wednesday, as usual. And Nat Gas is also going to be on Wednesday, because Thursday is a national holiday. It's going to be at 11 o'clock Central Time for the EIA numbers. And that's going to be about it for the week. Thursday, it's a national holiday. There will be no numbers due out. Consumer sentiment and JOLTS, job opens and labor turnover numbers on Friday. Those will be at 9 o'clock. And that's going to be pretty much it. So a lot of focus is going to be on our talking Feds, and not so much on economic data, other than the fact that Friday, late, the House, I guess, passed the infrastructure bill. I guess the Chinese Communist Party is acting to make Xi Jinping president for life. Doesn't sound right. President is usually something we elect, but it sounds more like a, well, whatever. Tesla stock took a hit as Musk has announced some plans to pay his taxes. U.S. stock indices looked open steady, maybe a little higher now. Crude prices may affirm again, as apparently President Biden is now targeting another U.S. pipeline that comes into Michigan. So, looking briefly here this morning at the VIX, up slightly at 1659, the dollar index down slightly, still pretty close to that 52-week high, 94.14, and the 10-year yield up just a little bit at 1.48. As always, got to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Theo, George, Brian, Zoraine, Frederico, Nico, my brother Rick, good to see you, Isaac, Chris, Drew, Spencer, Troy, good morning, Vince, Clem, Dan Trader, good to see you, Charles, Alfred, good to see you, Dead Letter Opener, Ricardo, good morning, confusing for us Australians. I'll bet dead letter opener. Yeah, it's you gotta go. Okay, they're going back. So what does that changes my time when I gotta start? It's always confusing, and it always seems to throw a little bit of a horseshoe into everybody's sleep schedule of everybody. I don't know. It never bothered me when I was younger, but now it seems to change a little bit of my sleep structure, and it's not so bad in the fall when we get that extra hour. It's worse in the spring when we lose an hour. Good morning, Felix, David, Trading Research, Ocean Blue. Hi, good to see you. Jason, Harry, Vince. Yes, that is new. And it's got a heck of a story to it as well. I think what Vince is talking about is this thing right here. And it's yeah, you're right, Nemo. It is a dictator, right? Here you go, Steelers. There you go. It is a hood scoop from a 1966 Pontiac GTO. One of these days I'll tell you the story about it. My brother's probably laughing right now because he's well aware of the story. Harry, good morning. Nemo, Ryan, Patrick, Sviatoslav, good to see you. Doctor, VJ, Mert, good morning. Dead letter opener. Opened for me at midnight. Oh my goodness. That's I don't know how you do it, dead letter opener. Good morning, Greg. Good to see you. Took advantage of that extra hour of sleep this weekend. Yeah, as did I. Ophelia, Charles, and Angelino. Theo, you were the first one in the room this morning. You win the prize. Good to see everybody. All right. All right, so let's jump into the charts, as always, starting with the daily in crude. Let me make sure I've got everything up here, and let's take a look. Okay, now we've got the other mic on. I'm going to have this fixed very soon. I apologize. I was going to get that done this weekend, but I can't. But again, I could not get the hardware. So, all right, Monday. Remember, Monday for me is a slow start. I tend to have a rough mornings on Monday mornings, so I'm going to be taking my time, and I think the markets are giving me that opportunity. Open interest indicates shorts covering on Friday, losing 28,000 in open interest off this low. Headline risks: Biden. What's he going to be doing with this pipeline? I don't think anybody knows what the hell he's doing, including himself. Short time frame control inside yesterday's range. We've got 1, 2, 3 days of balance here. We've kind of fallen into an area of balance once we came off these highs. And I think a lot of folks are awaiting new information. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart. So some pretty good whipsaws last week. We're still inside for the last 2 days. The regular trading hour range from Thursday, which was basically a around the globe turn, basically repairing on Friday. We're still in an area that could kind of lead to repair. The market not quite open yet in about 6 minutes. Settlement 81.27. Are we going to open with a gap? Are we not going to open with a gap? We're going to open in value. That may mean more range bound activity. If we open outside of range from Friday, that may indicate that the market is a little bit more out of balance. But again, I'm going to be trying to stay relatively quiet this morning. We had some overnight inventory to the long side. I believe that has now reconciled. It really comes down to a gap or no gap. Can you see the extremes that we're in here? We've got 83.60 is weekly kickoff high, last week's low. 77.85 this week's weekly kickoff low. Lots of potential fish up here, lots of potential fish down here, lots of randomness and short time frame levels to look at here. Be careful, be cautious, be patient. Look for your best levels first, especially when you're looking for short time frame information. Angelino, Albert, and Peter, good to see everybody. Let's take a look now into the S&Ps. All right, so one time framing continues. One time framing is defined as each bar as a consecutive higher low and higher high. We've just been continuing to do that. We don't want to fight this. We had a pretty decent increase in open interest on Friday of 5,000 contracts in the S&Ps. The volume was pretty decent in futures. It was about even on the New York Stock Exchange from what I can remember. 4710 weekly kickoff high is in reach. We peaked just above it on Friday, and that's when we ran into trouble. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. So Friday, we opened with a gap. We pushed higher. As soon as we got up here, buyers seemed to vacate. It was quite the kind of slow grind until we finally broke out below the opening range and the initial balance, and that's when the sellers came in. That's when we said, "Oh, okay, well, let's take some profits." We talk a lot about profit taking events when the market is directional, like the S&Ps and the Nasdaq have been. This to me was a small inventory adjustment from longs. We still, we know we added 5,000 of contracts. So was that a real good long liquidation? I'm not thinking it was all that tremendous. So what does that mean for us today? Well, we've got the no real overnight information. We opened, maybe we're a little bit long now, but we're inside Friday's area of value. Yes, Friday's area of value was wide, and it was somewhat emotional at one point in the day, but just kind of returned back to center, back to point of control. Settlement price is 46.90 quarter. It is pretty much the point of control. Again, I'm going to try and stay patient. I'm looking for opportunities at the extremes, and the upper extremes, of course, weekly kickoff high and last week's high. That high from last week was 47.1175. That's approximately 7 ticks through that weekly kickoff level. Not bad. Not bad. And it was a pretty decent opportunity off that level to see some sellers come in. We don't think that they were necessarily longer time frame traders, as we didn't have any divergence in delta. So this market, according to the one time framing activity, is still telling us to buy weakness. But be careful. Nasdaq, same but different. Let's go to the daily. So we broke out of a weekly kickoff level last Thursday, the big up day last Thursday. We had a pretty decent push. We're still continuing this one time framing activity. We could actually break it. We've got a lower high and a lower low in extended trading hours, according to extended trading hours on Friday. It's a little bit different. We've got our weekly kickoff high up here at 16,900. Weekly kickoff low down here at 15,824. And let's see here. I'm going to be looking at this gray line here, which was last week's weekly kickoff high that we broke out of, as somewhat pivotal. If the market gives us an opportunity to come back down to this level, it may present some level of support. Remember, we're looking for opportunities to buy weakness. Of course, we do have to be careful with that. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart, overnight inventory is long-ish. Looking at where we opened the session last night to where we are now, we may be holding some longs, but we are, again, right at settlement, which settlement is 16,351.75. You may want to put that on your charts. The market really in range, not really in value. This I find a little bit interesting. If we have a difficult time re-accepting inside of value from Friday, that might be something that could be indicative of a little bit of more of a pullback. But we do have repair available here for us. We've got our point of control up here, high volume node, and we're kind of at a high volume node right here from Friday's activity. If we get back inside of this area of value, I think it would be a relatively decent hypothesis to see this market come back and retest the high from Friday, but we need that acceptance back inside of value. Without that, we may be looking at opportunities in the opposite direction. And again, if we get down to this previous weekly kickoff level here, that might offer us an opportunity to look at the long on a level of weakness. Okay, and it may not work. The thing I like about those is they allow us to limit risk. All right, let's take a look at gold now. Okay, well, look at you. All right, we've got volume and open interest on Friday, all leading to a healthy upside auction. We added 33,000 contracts on Friday on higher volume. I'm not too sure about this. On higher volume. So right now, the weekly kickoff levels did not change for gold. It's 1825 down to 1767. I think that actually moved up a little bit. I'd have to double check that. I did these on Friday. So we are at an important inflection level right now. We've been range bound. Okay. We have basically just kind of in the longer time frame created boundaries for this range, and we are up against an upper boundary of this range. This weekly kickoff level is in essence a previous naked point of control, which is the last one before we go into space. So this is an important day, and I think this is an important period of time here in gold. This weekly kickoff level is going to be somewhat pivotal. We're still in range rule. So, and this is going to be tricky up here. If we can't hold above weekly kickoff high, the range rules say we should sell it and see if the market will rotate back down near the low of the range. This is longer time frame look here, but let's see what it's looking like on the 30-minute chart. So here's that big up move on Friday with all the open interest and volume. We've got some longs in this market. The opening range, I believe it remains the low of the regular trading hour session, and we have what appears to be a gap. So we are looking for opportunities to go in the direction of the gap unless the gap is filled. We're in a little bit of a stuck area here at our weekly kickoff high. The market, the auctioneer, if you will, is pandering in short time frame. He's like, look at this juicy level right here. What do you want to do? Do you want to buy it? Do you want to sell it? It's what are we going to do, and what is this auction going to do at this level? Again, it offers the opportunity to limit risk, but if it becomes magnetic, if we spend a lot of time here and we kind of rotate back and forth and around it, it's going to be a chop shop. So it's, be cautious, be careful. Right now, it's kind of exhibiting perhaps resistance. But if we get above it and accept, we come back down to it, it might be giving us an opportunity for a support level there. Let's take a look at the euro. 6th day in balance, largely. We had a pretty decent increase in volume. Let's take a look at this one. Volume's been doing okay. It's been increasing while we've been range bound. We've added 700 in open interest. Kind of moot, but it's been trending higher. It seems like change is coming here. We've got last week's high, last week's low, just really kind of hanging around. It's kind of a sideways market here, just waiting to see what happens. 30-minute. Okay, we have opened with a gap and since closed the gap. Now the question is, do we reaccept value from Friday? If we reaccept value from Friday, there's a probability that price at some point in the session today could go all the way to the low of value, which would bring us down to check a naked point of control and a check of last week's low. We have to accept back inside value. Acceptance is a subjective term. The market has already come up here and tested to this naked point of control, found that to be a little bit repulsive, a little resistant. But again, I'm going to try and stay patient. Now we've closed the gap. The regular trading hour session high is an important level now, as is the value high from Friday. We get down there and we accept down below that. That may provide a decent opportunity to the downside for us if we get there. And let's go take a look at the 10-year. With rates coming off last week, obviously, prices went higher. We've got rates a little bit higher this morning. Prices come off. Our weekly kickoff levels, I think, are remain the same here. No, we got a little bit of expansion up here. So 132.15 and 130.24, 30 seconds on the low end. Pretty decent range last week. We're in inside extended trading hour range here. Let's take a look at the 30. Lots of potential repair here. Settlement is up here, 131.26.5, 30 seconds. Our overnight high, overnight low, relatively close to value high and value low from Friday. I'm going to stay patient. We do have some shorts, some overnight shorts in this market, so any downticks in rates might be enough to scare some of these shorts to give us better trade location if we are looking for shorts up here near the high. And we can always perhaps take that ride if we do sense that our direct competitors are too short in the hole down here. And let's finish up with the nat gas. So we've been in this balance from here to here. This is 1 month. It's starting to coil. We know that Europe and Asia are having a real hard time with prices. There's not a lot of supply. We seem to be holding pat here, and I'm thankful for that. But it's pretty central in short time frame control. We got price here. We've got value. We've got weekly kickoff high and low. Relatively centrally located. This market is acting as the tennis player. He's coming back to center court to get the next lob or the next smash, whatever it's going to be. So we're going to take a look at the 30-minute chart here now. So I'm not sure what this whole big stab was to the downside, but we did have some overnight longs. basically coming down to retest a naked point of control from back here. And now kind of right back into range and value. I don't know. I'm going to be cautious with this one. My focuses are going to be more on the extremes, which are available, but they are pretty far away. It's almost like it's kind of a random walk here, using short time frame levels that may be respected to limit risk. But again, this is tough. Short time frame control. It's almost like a random walk. I'm going to be cautious and patient, as always. Those volume nodes in the Nasdaq point of control, obviously 16,425, and basically settlement is kind of another one. There's another kind of a high volume node here, but settlement I'm going to use as a loose level for that 16,350. And we're, so far we're not in repair. We have not accepted inside this area of potential repair. Not a lot of volume here, higher volume here, higher volume here. If we get inside of it, we may tend to get to both sides of it. So that might be an interesting opportunity for us. Okay, so a couple of things. We have group coaching today. I'm going to put that link in the chat. Please join me if you'd like. And as far as I know, we are scheduled for market therapy this Wednesday with Dr. Menaker. He is a busy man. He had to miss the last one. I'm hoping that he will be with us Wednesday at 3:15 as the markets close. We just sit back, relax, and chat with the good doctor. I know we all like those. Beavis, when I say by weakness, I meant by weakness. Market that's moving higher over time. We're always buying the high. We're always withstanding heat. If we can find the pullbacks in an upward market, that's what I mean by buying weakness. Oh, yep, hearing both mics. Sorry. Better. Okay. Echo. We're better now. Sorry about that. And I was planning on having all of this resolved today, but of course I got gremlins in my car and I couldn't get the hardware, so I'm going to be working on getting that hardware soon as possible. But we'll still be here with you. All right. We got about 15 minutes before the S&Ps open. I've told you about group coaching. Dr. Menaker. Group coaching is today at 1 o'clock and also on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. 2 sessions a week. I look so forward to those, and I hope that you do too. We are all about your success here, and we want to see your success. So on that note, let's call this a forecast. Dan should be with you today at 3 o'clock for the market recap. If not, hey, maybe you'll see me. But I think Dan's in and ready to go. And I will look forward to seeing you in group coaching. Trade well today. Get out there and profit. I'm going to just take a deep breath here. Remind myself to stay humble, grateful, and creative in my trading, and I'm going to take it easy and start slow this week. Not a lot of eco numbers, a little random walking going on in some of these markets. Pick your good spots. Be patient. Don't go looking for trades. The best trades are going to come find you. So trade well today. We'll see you later.